What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Movie Extra. I'm Nerdy Dustin,
I am Leo, aka Movies with Leo.
and we are joined by John from High Def Ninja. You know, there's only one way to start this podcast off, especially with John being here, and that's let's do some giveaways. What do y'all think?
I like that.
Let's do it. Let's do some steel books, right? John's got some stuff here. If you want to enter, it's super simple. If you're listening on Spotify, just comment on the Spotify. If you're listening on YouTube, comment on the YouTube. And if you're seeing us through Instagram, comment on our Instagram. You need to be following one of those platforms. And next Friday on the next episode, we will pick our winner. All right, John, what do you got for the audience?
All right, like we said, we got three of them here. So you got three winners. All you gotta do is give me the address. I'll get them shipped out. We got these two are open. So you got Detective Pikachu Steelbook, nice gloss finish. You got Nobody 4K. Um, then your second winner, we're taking it back, classic, old school. You got Watchmen Director's Cut, it's just Blu-ray, but it's the old, thick, sturdy steel from Future Shop from Canada. So, you know, pretty nice, nice history there. And then we got this double lenticular Ant-Man from Blue Fans premium label out of China, and the world exclusive artwork steelbook inside, the booklet, some good stuff. It's discless, but nevertheless, great edition. So yeah,
Wow.
you'll be able to have three happy winners.
That is awesome. Like I said, we'll pick the winners next Friday. Like I said, just comment on whatever platform you're listening to us on and make sure you're following. And yeah, this is gonna be exciting. I love it. I love giveaways. Um, John, let's dive into this. How did you get started in the world of physical media?
Well, like many of you guys, you see behind. I mean, I'm a big collector as well. Always have been. I'd say I collected pretty hard in like DVD, but I didn't own a whole lot of DVD steelbooks. If I owned them, I didn't. It was like back in the early days with other folks where you didn't know it was a steelbook. You just knew it was a metal case. Um, and then I was there just adopting new technology when Blu-ray and HD DVD were having their wars, and buying them both and all that good stuff, and just kind of grew from there. We started a website back in 2009, so quite a while ago, and then created an online forum community, and that grew. And I mean, we have the most posts for steelbooks on than any other website. So I mean, it's really big steelbook, centric community first and foremost. Obviously, there's other websites that are great for a lot of other things, but that's kind of been our niche, and the heart and soul. But it's more collector forums. There's all other type of collectibles, but yeah, and that's just highdefninja.com/community. A lot of people just kind of go to the main page and think that's all we are, but you just got to go to the actual forum link. But yeah, and
That
then
is
yeah,
all.
just collecting like everybody else. So
That is awesome. Yeah, dude. I love your design for High Def Ninja too.
I
The
appreciate it.
the ninja with the blue ribbon on the top.
Yeah, we were trying to be different at the time. The site first started out as called like Blu-ray Center, like Blu-ray Entertainment Center, and then we went like, okay, let's change it up. Everyone's Blu-ray this, Blu-ray that, or just high def this. I mean, now you see the word ninja in like society everywhere, whether it's a ninja coffee maker or whatever carpet ninja, anything. But back then, I'm not gonna say I was the first, but we were definitely on the forefront of it. I don't. It wasn't as big as it is now, as far as everyone using the word ninja after stuff. And we wanted to be able to have a logo. We wanted to have branding. It was kind of like it's silly kind of. Some of these are thoughts, back in 2009. Some of these thoughts are silly today, but the thought process back then was just, if you were like walking in a mall and you seen someone with a shirt that just said whatever Blu-ray Planet, but then you saw one that said High Def Ninja, you're like, what is that? And so that was just kind of the thing, was like, we wanted to engage thought and get someone to click, get someone to be like, hey, what is this place? What is this? And so it just kind of grew from there. So,
Wow, that's awesome.
and one of our members, he's like there's all kinds of stories on all the members, man. I can go on and on, different people in the industry, but one in particular was a graphic designer, and we paid him to basically create this ninja logo, from scratch, and I still got the original drawings and everything. So, but yeah.
That's
So
so
this is like a whole team, right? Like it's you and some other people. Like,
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of volunteer staff. It started out with myself and a co-founder, and then that kind of evolved not too long into some other partners. And then over the years, it's, different business, objectives, et cetera. We've, slimmed down to now two partners. So I'm essentially, still here, and my other business partners up in the Northeast. So yeah.
well, you're very well known in the movie collector community. A lot of the content creators receive steelbooks from you and things like that. So it's very awesome. Like getting to know you and getting to see you in person in a way.
Yeah,
Because
I don't show my face. I don't show my face a whole lot, as you can tell. You see my posts and stuff. Like I post the stuff on Instagram, and then but we've got people who post on X or whatever, and then other places and stuff like that. But that's just kind of been the one that I did. But yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, every week, like all the big content, especially on TikTok, it's like, here's a new steelbook from High Definition Ninja. So like we definitely hear your name every week and it's awesome. I love it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely appreciate all the shout outs, for sure. It's I feel like it's just people scratching each other's backs, right? We're playing our part, you guys are playing your part, and we're all trying to serve physical media. So and it seems like it's doing pretty well. So definitely a renaissance. So
I was gonna say that's my next question is what is your take on this new influx of physical media and I'm seeing new fans, especially new people on TikTok every week jumping on board, showing off their collection, getting into collecting, getting into steelbooks.
yeah, I mean, I think collecting is huge right now. I mean, even the trading card space is blown up like
Oh
crazy,
yeah.
and so physical media, movies, and of course everyone knows obviously like the issues with streaming and stuff like that. But there's a generation coming up also that obviously like streaming and just getting content is number one for them. But also I think they have some nostalgia from parents that were obviously into physical media, and so it's kind of getting maybe passed down inherently through that. But as far as like kind of how, I mean, for just like steelbooks in general, like seeing that, like it's almost a given that any release with a decent enough budget is going to also do a steelbook release. If you don't have it in the States, I mean, it's probably being done elsewhere, in the world. And that's where forums like ours, where members come together, there's direct sales and stuff we do, but there's sales that are happening just member to member, peer to peer all the time. But it's something that I always knew it was going to get to this point where like I always felt like, because I go back from when the steelbooks where you were just like hoping the title that you saw at the movies, man, I really hope it gets a steelbook release, and then maybe it doesn't, and then but I always felt like there's going to come a day where it's just because of the extra, almost say free marketing you almost just get out of it, where like you know people who just go to Walmart and show off a steelbook release or something like that, it just happens organically. So I always knew we'd get to this part where almost every release was getting a steelbook, just because I figured the studios were going to see a lot of value in that.
Yeah, definitely. And before it used to be just big studios doing it. Now we're seeing boutique labels adding
Mm-hmm.
the books like Shout Factory, Arrow Video. Arrow Video doesn't do as many, but they are jumping into that a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, with them obviously being in the UK for so long, you know what I mean? Like they were doing some stuff over there, and then yeah,
Yeah, and I got to meet the guy that he works for the Steelbook Scanavo all the way over there when I went to Comic Con. And yeah, he's talking a lot of things are coming, a lot of for video games, vinyls, like a lot of things. So it's
yeah,
it's getting big.
oh yeah, yeah. I've definitely done some cons in my past. We did High Def Ninja set up booths and stuff at the Mondo cons back in the days. But I mean, Mondo got acquired by Funko kind of during that COVID time, and then obviously Funko's went through a lot of changes as well. But and then been to E3, New York Comic Con. I actually have never made it out to San Diego Comic Con yet, so it's on the list one of these days. But it might be dangerous.
Yeah, me neither. How does
Might
it
be
feel,
looking at
Leo?
statues. But
It's
yeah,
massive. It's overwhelming. as a content creator, I did horrible because I didn't do any content.
Mhm.
But I was just wowed by everything. It's just a big place that you're looking around that I even forgot I had my phone with me. So
Yeah.
like, it was just an incredible experience. So I really recommend you go to San Diego Comic Con. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. I figure it's a little bit like New York Comic Con, but then a little bit different, a little more maybe Hollywood presence and stuff. So yeah.
But
But we've got a volunteer writer that's been on our site for a long time, and shout out Michael, and he is just trying to think of the nice way to say it, but that man is a con nut, like and I love it. But it's like it's crazy. This guy goes to so many cons, and he just gets like high def ninja, press passes and stuff like that. So he goes, and you'll see those write ups. Like, in fact, I mean, there's a bunch of San Diego Comic Con write ups on the main page, and that's all by him. He was out there, so he kind of goes in my place.
I love it. That's
but
awesome.
have you gone to any cons? Any
Well,
any type of Comic Con or
are you
convention?
asking if I have?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've never been to San Diego Comic Con, no, but I've been to quite a few conventions, and I've gone to conventions as a speaker, so
Oh,
it's a ton of fun. But yeah, I would love to go to Comic Con in San Diego. It's always in July, and I'm always filming something in July, so it's just never works out that way. But it looks like it's very very Hollywood presence there compared to all the other conventions. Um,
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot of the. I've been to a couple smaller cons, and I mean, it kind of depends on what you're going for. And I mean, I've been to like Phoenix Comic Con a long time ago, Albuquerque Comic Con, and I mean, way less people. So, if you're gonna
I
go buy something, it's kind of easy, just shopping,
yeah.
not standing in crazy lines. So,
I've gone to like Dragon Con in Atlanta, and I've gone to like Paracon up in Minnesota, and like I personally I like the smaller conventions more. It feels more personal. It's not as crazy.
oh,
You have access to stuff a lot easier. Yeah. Comic
yeah,
Con would just be overwhelming.
yeah.
yeah. We went. Which one was that? That was Albuquerque Comic Con. It was a lot smaller, but I was able to meet Stan Lee there and get a bunch of autographs from him. So that was kind of cool. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's Stan. That's one guy I never got to meet. That's so awesome. Oh, I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So there's my Grail, Iron Man Future Shop,
Oh,
signed by
that's
Stan
so
Lee.
sweet.
And with the certification.
We definitely, especially me and Leo being really big on TikTok, we're constantly asked, what's your grail in your collection?" And I can never answer that question. There's just so much.
Yeah,
Um,
there really is. I got a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, almost sometimes you get a little desensitized, but sometimes I had to think about it. Well, if they were to ask me, like, what would it be? And I was like, it might be this Iron Man, because that was a pretty hot, popular steel in its day, just alone. It's real condition sensitive, actually, because I mean, you can find, you can find some on eBay, maybe like 30 to 50 bucks. But if you look at them, you'll see that was back when stuff would kind of there was like some rusting issues or they scratched a little easier. I think it was in
yeah.
the early days for some things were maybe getting completely ironed out, or maybe just how they were getting packaged. So it's not always. That is one thing. In the steelbook world, people talk about. I don't know if you guys seen this or know this, but with like brand new steelbooks, sometimes you'll see a spine slash. I don't know if you've ever heard of spine slash, and that'll just be like when you're looking at it at the spine, there'll be a little tiny slash right there, and that actually happens. Basically when they've already put all the steel together and they essentially have shrink wrapped it, they put it in the case and they go to wherever Best Buy, Target. I mean, I get it, Best Buy, yeah, although they're
Yeah.
coming back online, but in any case, you know, what it is that case, the cardboard flap maybe only covers this much, so there's all this space in between. So it's just an employee taking a razor blade and cuts like that. So,
Yeah, I worked at Target and I was very careful when I worked there.
oh, you were probably one of those slashers, weren't you?
I promise. Dude, I was always like the new releases and I would be like, oh, I'm grabbing
Yeah.
this one, putting this one aside, this one's for me.
I don't
Well, that
have
might be
that.
good one day because different. You see different collectibles and different conditions, and makes it worth more money. So, you never know.
I don't
So
have
I
one
want
near
to
me, but
know,
yeah, that's.
I want to know, what was your first steelbook that started off the collection for you?
Oh
Yeah, honestly,
yeah.
it was probably this Iron Man.
Really?
I
That's all.
joined a group. I joined a group buy, and got this. And then, I mean, funny enough, I got it. It was so hyped up at the time. I got it. I'm like, this is cool, but I wasn't like, I don't know. It was funny. I wasn't like that into it. I think I
Mhm.
sold it, and it wasn't until I sold it that, like, I don't know, like a month later, I go, man, I really wish I had that back. So then I bought another. That's when it hit, and it was on after that. So
That
yeah,
always happens when you sell a movie. You always want it
yeah.
back, or you want to watch it, and then you don't have it anymore.
Oh, I'm bad. I'm Mister 3, 4 times. Like, I can't tell you I'm talking about own Iron Man. Shoot. So I'm one of those guys. I got like 5 different versions, 10 different versions on some stuff.
I got
Yeah.
the Best Buy one.
Yeah, yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, we are definitely the same. Me and Leo, we will triple buy a movie, quadruple buy a movie. I probably have like 10 copies of Scarface because every time a new edition comes out, I have to buy it. It's mostly just for either one, the art, or two, what comes in it. Because sometimes you'll get, different little items.
I own a lot of the Scarfaces actually. I even got the Humidor. So
Oh, nice.
you remember when that came out? That was pretty pricey, but and then I got like, let's see here. This entire rack right there is only Quentin Tarantino movies.
That is
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
when you got a whole rack on just one director, that's yeah. I definitely got a lot of overkill over there, but it was fun.
I have two shelves dedicated to Kevin Smith, but I don't have a whole.
His other shelf is just all Marvel, like all Marvel steelbooks. In fact, pretty much everything behind here is all steelbooks. There are some like like some digibooks over here, and then I don't know if you can see. Like I had like all the gold Oscar slips
Oh
down
yeah.
there, but yeah, most everything is probably like 90% steelbooks. But I've worked closely with steelbook and stuff for a long time, so it kind of comes
So,
out.
other than steelbooks, what's your other favorite type of packaging?
Uh, Man, that's a good question. Probably like slip boxes, whether because it doesn't have to have a steelbook inside it. If we're taking away the steelbook aspect of it, I mean, like just something like that Ant-Man, where like okay, it's a double lenticular. Some of them will have like a different. I know there's a lot of like South Korean labels that will just use like those clear. Funny enough, those clear cases, that's also Scannable. Like the Criterion cases, that's from
Oh
the
yeah.
same company. So, but you know,
Yeah,
uh,
like the
there's
arrow.
been some cool. There's been some cool, like unique packaging that's been done that you're kind of like, oh, why didn't that stick around? There's some of that over the years too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I always thought what it's these ones. I think they were called the Diamond. Um
oh, is that like the Diamond Lux?
Diamond Lux. Yeah,
Yeah.
why didn't these stick around?
I know they were pretty easily prone to scratches because they had like that really like high gloss finish.
That's true. They definitely
I mean, I don't know if that's like the exact reason, but some of that.
but just
But
the way they feel and look, and I just like
Yeah, they
this
look nice.
is this is one I wish they would have kept doing for sure.
yeah, yeah. What was that movie? Oh, yeah, it's a space movie they did with that. I'm trying to think of the name. Gravity. Gravity.
Gravity. Yeah.
That's actually like last time I looked at. I don't know what it is doing now, but maybe a year or so ago I looked it up, and it was like extremely high on the aftermarket because I guess it's got that cut in the movie where it's like no audio. It's like just like I don't know space. It's just like the score, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's like makes you feel more like you're in space. So there's you know, hey,
Have you
space is cool, but I mean, there's also like people who are super into that, and so therefore, I think that's why that one has like that aftermarket value because it's like if you want that cut, that you got to buy that one. So.
That's
That
awesome. I didn't
does
think that for Gravity, actually. That's awesome.
that is definitely something that's been more and more prevalent nowadays is the price influx of this physical media. Like
Oh yeah,
uh
definitely.
last year's freak out was everyone found out that 28 days later was a short printed on Blu-ray, so like those went up to like $100 at one point, and because then it was removed from streaming for a time being, and
Uh-huh.
that's what
There's,
happens. Something gets removed, and people are going to look for it on physical, and they're like, oh, it's been short printed, or it just was never put on that
uh-huh.
format, and makes
Yeah, I
the
seen that happen with like a Paramount Presents title. I can't remember the name, but sold
uh
it. I was like, it sold for like over $100, and I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, all right, cool.
Thing with Dogma. I mean, now we're getting the 4K, but Dogma was the big deal of like it
Mhm.
would cost 120 or 100 around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, if you got the chance to go to Kevin Smith's lives, he brings that up a lot about how like if he had no idea at one point his like why is my Blu-ray Dogma $100? What are y'all doing?
Trying to get some more printed up, buddy. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of, yeah, that'll be on 4K soon. Look out for that. That's exciting. That's got the whole physical media uh
So you
people
usually
talking.
stuff with Warner Brothers and Universal, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And then obviously I do some of the stuff like you guys do on other outlets,
Okay.
but do some of the small coverage like that. And
So
I
how
mean,
did
you guys cover those stuff better than I do. I mean, there's stuff you guys get that I don't get, but I'm also just, I'm pretty busy. So sometimes I'm like, I didn't reply to that. I was like, well.
well, the thing is, like with me, I remember when you first started sending me steel books and stuff.
Yeah.
I was always trying to do comedy with it.
I like your comedy shtick though. I actually
Oh,
do. Yeah.
and I was like,
And
hopefully
I
they
liked it as part of the whole network in a sense because it was like, not if next to nobody was doing that but you. You know what I mean? So that helped you stand out. And actually that's what made me notice you.
oh,
Um, just because at the time I was like, I don't know, maybe I was one of the first, if not the first, but it didn't seem like you were getting stuff or whatever. Maybe you were, but I was just like, man, this guy's got it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want to help grow people as well. I don't, it's just if I can do it and all powers that be are cool with it, sometimes it can be very low follower count. You know what I mean? Look at you now, you grew a lot. So
yeah, I know. I
I
appreciate.
seen you over there hosting a panel and everything. I was like, man, look at this guy.
I know. I do. I was surprised, but yeah, every time I did those comedy skits, I was like, I hope the label likes it. That was my most worried. I was like, hopefully they understand what I'm trying to show, or because I
Yeah, I mean it's authentic, you know what I mean? Just be authentic, you know.
yeah, I
Um,
remember I did the filling the gasoline with the Ocean 11 steelbooks
yeah,
because I spent it all my money on
yeah.
them.
Oh yeah, you do a lot of those. Like, yeah,
People love that stuff, man. It's a lot of people, they get the movie in, they're just like, I got this in from Sony. Here's what it looks like, and that's it. But you take it to another level, and yeah, people love that stuff.
yeah.
Dude,
I
it's
got
so funny.
I
So
gotta
funny.
get a
That's why I don't go crazy with mine because I'm like, well, everybody else is doing their own stuff and doing great jobs, and I'm just gonna try to reshare their stuff and help put it out there as well and let them kind of shine, and I just kind of post some pics, so.
And honestly, I think, especially TikTok, because of movie talk and film talk, I think that's helped to push physical media to this new renaissance as well. Seeing all
Oh,
these
I'm sure.
collectors
Yeah.
doing what Leo does, doing what I do, and just getting it out there to the masses, it's definitely helped.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm sure it's a little bit younger generation there. I mean, it's all encompassing. I know there's 60-year-olds, whatever, 70 years old, even on there. It's not like there's only one age group, but there is also a very young age group in there. So that's definitely probably helping move forward. Because I know just from family and friends, it's like your kids got a TikTok, but they don't have an Instagram. So it's like that's good because that means you can kind of keep physical media alive. So
And every once in a while, I get that message from someone being like, "Hey, I started collecting because of you," and I'm like, "There you go. I did my job. You're gonna waste money now."
you're screwed. No.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's definitely
But
not.
hey, try to collect the right stuff. So, sometimes when you got to, you can, sell things, buy things, keep it moving. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, collect what you love. That's what I always say. Just collect your favorite stuff, like your favorite movies first, and then if you wanna go in more into steelbooks or boutique labels, then that's up to the person that's collecting.
oh, absolutely. And a lot of times that's when you're doing it with that angle, you're not doing it to like turn a profit or something. Then
Yeah.
a lot of times that ends up being the stuff that just like you like it, other people like it. So if the
Yeah.
day comes, you're like, oh, you know what, I'm not into this as much. Well, I'll sell these and then I'll go put that money into this. I'll buy some more. I'm always kind of hustling and bustling different ways. I mean, my collection is not this is what you see in this room. I got a man cave out there, so I mean it's a lot of other stuff, but stuff I
Yeah,
don't buy as much anymore. But I
I know
I
that
have my
was.
statue phase. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did want to ask, you work with Warner Brothers. I know this might be the one that you might not be able to talk about, but you work with Warner Brothers. How is that Nightmare on Elm Street steelbook?
Like the whole
What can
set,
you say? What can you say about that?
like the whole set.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know you're not talking about this older one. I actually got one right over here, but it's
No.
like the old still release.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm mostly working like with SDS and distribution, but I mean, I have some contacts from them as well, from years past, and also there's a lot of global contacts that I deal with just because with High Def Ninja, I mean, it's not just like a 90% United States type website. It's actually extremely far from that. It's very global. It's actually a lot of Brits. I mean, UK and Europe, big on Europe, and of course US as well. But it's pretty heavy on that. So I mean, we've done stuff with Sony UK. This I got one here from like many years ago, but this was like a Zombieland like steelbook we did
Oh.
officially with like Sony UK, but then we got permission to release it at the MondoCon. But what was cool about this one, kind of going on a tangent here, but this one actually has a blacklight effect. So
Oh,
this slip cover, you can take a black light and then it lights up like the Zombieland right here. You can't see it on
Oh.
the back 'cause it's got the your typical like information and stuff here. But behind this little piece of paper is all like the rules of Zombieland, if you remember that in the movie, and all
yeah.
that lights really well. And
Awesome.
that was me going to like a printing company, like one of the big ones that do a lot of stuff. And sometimes they'll hang you a folder, all this different type of print techniques, and they just showed me like a little jack-o'-lantern with like black light, and I was like, oh man, I can do something with that. And so we got that made. But yeah, I mean, I can't really speak much on the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. I mean, I'm happy like everybody else for it coming out. It's like a pretty cool. Got the steelbook shelf. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like super exciting. Yeah, I didn't
But yeah.
realize either. My newest movie we put on physical, The Forest Hills, and I didn't realize how big that stuff is overseas. Like I did because it's not something I really thought about, and it's yeah,
Oh, steelbooks.
steelbooks, just physical media, horror
Oh
movies,
yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
massive overseas. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know much about the steelbooks overseas, but I would imagine it's yeah, movie
Oh
and
yeah. It's
physical
huge.
media. It's
Yeah.
huge over there.
And I mean, Zavi helped obviously grow a lot of that because they were at one, they used to ship worldwide at actually a really good rate. I don't know what the rate is now, and I mean they've opened some warehouses here, but nevertheless, they were real big on their exclusives. But previous to that, Play.com, there's a lot. But yeah, I mean, Steelbook, the headquarters is in Denmark, so I mean, so it kind of starts from there. But there's also a North American office as well. So, but yeah.
No,
But yeah,
it's
we had a little foray when we were doing some like special editions for High Def Ninja. We worked with Synapse Films. You probably heard of them in the U.S. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, we've done stuff with them. We did like the Suspiria Steelbook.
Oh yeah,
Well, they did
yeah, yeah.
they did the Suspiria Steelbook. We worked a deal with we commissioned artists. So this was like the Dark Inker limited to 200, and we custom myself and my partner, and other partners. We basically let's see, they did also we did Phenomenon. Same, that's the same artist there. And then I really liked this art, so I contact this artist, Matt Ryan, chose the Suspiria one.
Oh yes, yes, yes. That yep.
Obviously, this was one of my favorites. So, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we did like 600 of these. They all sold out in 48 hours. So But that was always sometimes a challenge, right? Just getting some of all the approvals and everything else. But yeah,
I think UK or overseas and all the way over there, they get a lot more creative with their physical media, a lot more than the US. And I feel like there's a lot more artists that get creative with what they put on the steel books, and yeah, it gets crazy over
yeah. There's definitely some different red tape for sure.
there.
Um, some of my stuff, some of my stuff can be speculation, so I don't want to speak too much of it into the ether of existence. But some of them, especially some of the smaller countries, I think they are able to take certain liberties that may not have completely passed the finish line or something because you're just like, hmm. But yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, I was talking to the people that invited me to Comic Con. They do art for steel books for Disney, and I when they announced the Lilo and Stitch one, I didn't really like the art, and I told them I was like, you guys should have done a beautiful scenery with Lilo standing like sitting in the hammock with
oh yeah,
and everything. And they were like, it's out of our hands. Once we give them the art, they pick. And they told me that the picture that pretty much everybody was saying that they were like, oh, I wish they would have picked this one. They got picked in Japan. So Japan picked that picture, and the US picked the one that Stitch is kind of ripping out of the steelbook kind of thing.
right. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Because the
Yeah,
was kind of more like we wanted to separate it from the animated, and I guess the one with the hammock looked more animated than yeah.
one thing I feel like they're kind of missing the boat on is there's this big thought and stuff industry where like, oh, steelbook alternative art, you know what I mean? So they try to make something different, for alternative art, but then it's like I mean, I see it every day with collectors on our forums that they want the original poster art on the steelbook. You know what I mean? And I think it's like if you just made two, you know,
Yeah.
I think that I know that original poster art on a lot of that stuff will sell extremely well. And then do the alternative art as well because there's amazing artists out there. I mean, like Jock, this the
Oh yeah.
thing that he did with MondoCon,
Yes.
this or not MondoCon, but like Mondo Steelbook line, like this is awesome art. This one's signed by John Carpenter and Jock. So
That's so
another
sick.
cool one I got in the collection.
I
Yeah.
will say when these boutique, especially boutique clubs, when they come out with the art and it's got the reverse and I'm old school, so I always go with the original poster for sure.
Yeah, yeah, like the original Jaws.
Yep. I always it's
Yeah,
the first thing I do. I crack it open and I flip it. I do love a lot of the new art that they have, but I'm old.
oh yeah, there's amazing artists. You had a panel with what Craig Drake, right?
Yeah.
Yep, I know a lot of his stuff. Mexi Funk, obviously, he shout out to him.
Landmark.
He's done a lot of stuff. And then I mean, there's just so many artists, man. I wish we could get Tyler Stout on some more stuff. He was big in the Mondo line, but big fan of his artwork. Roy Kurtz is a great artist. More drive steel book, but and then
Have
there's
you?
still books that have nothing on the back. When they have nothing on the back, that's when you take them and you get them drawn
Oh,
on.
yes.
So
Nice.
that's what I did this is Jock. He's a famous comic artist known for like Batman drawings and stuff. And he was like, "You want what done?" Because I was like, "Yeah, just draw a shark on the back of my jaw still book." He's like, so that's probably the only. I don't know. That might be one of the only sharks he's ever drawn, unless he did some like crazy stuff in comics. But
My best friend is obsessed with him, so when he sees this video, hey Tyler, he's gonna be super jelly that you have that.
yeah, I like that. It's funny because in some ways it looks so simple. You're like, it's just a little doodle, but it's so his style that
It is
it's
very
awesome.
much his style. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
so cool. Uh, John, do you remember your first movie you ever acquired?
Oh, that's a good question, but I can tell you I have a crazy soft spot for Robin Hood with Kevin Costner because when it was on VHS tape, I think I watched it like 70 something times. I was obsessed as a kid. So not the
That
first
is
one I acquired, but definitely the first one where I wore the VHS tape out.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
That was
Mine,
German.
I still have it to this day. Is the VHS of Stand By Me.
Okay.
It
Yeah, that's
was
classic.
a birthday gift from my mom decades ago, and I kept it. It's what started my obsession with this, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like other movie collectors. I like to know if they still have it or what their first, what
Yeah.
got them into the
I still got some
collecting.
VHS, not necessarily stuff from when I was a kid, but I mean, I've even got like, not that I got into it. I just went and seeked out this one in particular. It took me forever to find it, but uh, it's just not that I'm like, I don't have a whole lot of wrestling stuff, but the VHS of King of the Ring with the Hell in a Cell with Mankind McFoley, Undertaker. And I searched eBay for years just to get one that was sealed, and I finally found one, so I just sent it off, got it graded, but get it
Wow.
encapsulated just to make it a little like display I got over there. But just
Me and
fun times
Leo.
back in my early high school wrestling stuff. That was the Attitude Era was the
Oh yeah,
best. So
Me and
yeah,
Leo are big wrestling fans.
yeah. I don't watch a whole lot of it. Like I mean, every once in a while I'll put something on, or because I got Peacock or Netflix, whatever. But not as much into it these days, but still always rooting for it. You know what I mean? I did watch a little bit of that whole like I guess it was kind of like a whole. I was watching the other day like that behind the scenes of like I think when they
Oh,
first went to Netflix or whatever. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
the Unreal series on Netflix. Yeah, that's as someone's been watching wrestling since the 80s, I would have never thought they would have ever done something like that.
I was watching that and I'm like, man, this guy's like breaking all the like unwritten rules. He ain't supposed to show this much stuff.
Like, I don't want to
There's
talk about.
was it the Vince McMahon's dad? That the one that's long passed away. I go, that guy's rolling over in his grave.
I was just about to say there's a lot of people that, especially
Yeah,
Vince, they're probably not too happy.
yeah,
Especially
that's crazy.
I don't know how a lot of these older, like the Undertaker. I don't know how like they're even
I
okay
know.
with okay
Yeah,
with
it's
this.
wild.
Uh,
Yeah,
it's cool
crazy.
to see what happens behind the scenes in my point of view with it. But yeah, before it was all a secret. You never knew how
Yeah,
this was done, and now you like the curtain is pulled back
I mean,
on
we
every.
always knew it was fake, but it's like it's what it added to the magic of how
Mhm.
much they kept it, secret and made us
Oh yeah,
believe it was real. That yeah, I don't know. It's
yeah. I grew up in Houston, but there for a little while. I lived in Austin for a couple of years, and one time I saw the Undertaker lives like in that Austin area. I saw the Undertaker like pushing a cart in Target, and I'm like, this is crazy looking. Like I'm just thinking of him as like the Undertaker. This guy we're just pushing a cart in Target, you know.
growing up.
But
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, so we go to Atlanta, and that's where Bill Goldberg lived at the time. I don't know if he still lives there now, but we pulled up to a red light with him next to us. I was like 13 years old at the time, and yeah,
yeah,
same thing. It's like, what? They're real
oh
people.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I remember my Goldberg era.
Oh yeah.
I spear everybody.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't shake your head though, right?
Yeah. But yeah, man, you guys I mean you guys came a long ways with this, especially obviously I followed you more Leo, and now I'm be tuned into you, Dustin. So but yeah, it's been crazy seeing you guys kind of climb up. So
Yeah, I
No.
don't Leo so there's a difference. Leo, like this is what Leo does. I'm off making movies, so I don't have time to do as much of this fun content creation. I would love to start doing more of it. It's a ton of fun. I mean,
while you're doing the fun part, there was a time where I was like, man, that's what I want to do. And then I just got busy with other stuff. But
I
yeah.
mean, listen, yeah, you are doing the cool part. You're getting to meet actors, directors, so
When I don't meet any actors. If I meet actors, it's because I went to a convention like you guys. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
yeah,
it's not it's weird when I say it. I worked with John Goodman a couple of years back on The Righteous Gemstones, and it's like growing up, like he was my favorite actor, Flintstones, Roseanne, all that stuff. But it's like when you start working with them, that magic's gone. It's gone.
yeah, I can
Because
see that. I can see that for sure. Yeah.
now they're just a coworker. So like it kind of like a part of me is like, I wish I never got into the industry and just stayed a fan.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of always like High Def Ninja has definitely just kind of been right at that little, line where we've barely a foot in, you know what I mean? And most of the foot out, I mean, collectors and, for the community, we've done, a bunch of crazy stuff at the website, just, collectors, you know, we've utilized, our authenticity in that and just contacted, companies, PR firms, studios, distributors. And I mean, it's been many years now, but we used to have a thing called like Ninja Week. And it that's probably one of the biggest things that blew my mind of just what the power of the community and the website was able to do. Because when we, as an internal team, we're talking like, oh, what can we do? Obviously help grow the site. Da, da, da. And it was like, all right, well, like we host giveaways. Everyone wants to host a giveaway. And I was like, yeah. And then it was like, well, what if we like hosted a giveaway every single day, like for the week? So you're thinking like, okay, what is that? Like 7 giveaways? And that, I don't know what the first week might have been. It may have only been something small, like 7 or 20. I don't know, something very small. And then it was like, okay, every year we did 10 years of this Ninja Week event. And every year we were like, okay, how do we grow this? I mean, it got to a point where we were giving away like $1,000 items, like home entertainment systems. I think we gave like over, and this is a lot of this is the community. I mean, it's not just us. We forked over a lot as well. Don't get me wrong, but it was studios, it was companies, whether it's vinyl record companies, whether it's Mondo, you know what I mean, or Arrow Video, it was a lot of everyone just coming together in that sense, and then the members just took it to a whole nother level. And I mean, I'm trying to think how many. There was a time where it was like I think it was like over 400, maybe 400, 500 giveaways in a week. Like it was insanity. It was hard keeping up with everything. But they're still archived on the forums. You basically just go look at how many thread count there is, and you kind of see how many there was. But it was just crazy. But that was a pretty cool thing that I'm always kind of like proud of, just because, you know. And then there's always haters. You hear people say things online. You're just kind of like, you're literally hating on us just giving away a bunch of stuff. It's just like whatever, man. But
Yeah, people love to hate, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I went back and watched a few of your YouTube videos on your YouTube channel.
yeah,
I
man.
You should definitely bring back how you would show off steelbooks. You had a unique. I don't know
Yeah,
who would record
so
those.
that I'm gonna shout him out right now because I love this guy. This is one of our main graphic designers and videographers, stuff like that. He's still doing a lot of stuff, but he actually does a lot of movie posters. So yeah, Dustin, if you ever need some movie poster done for something you got going on, I can link you guys up. But his name
Yeah.
is Snollygoster like Productions on Instagram, and yeah, he's definitely like super talented, and he was the one doing those videos and stuff like that. So,
They were
and
very.
there's a whole array of videos on there because you got videos like that, and you got somewhere we used like other influencers, and maybe they came in and did a few things, or different guys we found. But my videos are like the oldest ones. They're the worst ones, the crappiest ones, the worst quality. This is back when you had to use like a camera and the SD card. Upload it. But those are the crappy ones are mine. And yeah.
Okay. Well,
But
yeah,
but I did get my Stan Lee all those steelbooks that I had Stan Lee sign. I did get that on video, which I'm
Ugh.
kind of proud because they told us no videos. You're going to go into a room that's kind of dark lit. Stan likes it dark. And we walked in. Stan goes, "All right, do I need a tall glass or a small glass? Which is how many am I about to sign? And but I had that but I had the camera on the strap, so I was like, well, I'll just leave the video on the strap. So it looked, I didn't, look like I just had my camera around my neck, but I was actually recording. So
that's
which is
awesome.
rest in peace to the man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, I love
Definitely.
I saw those videos and I loved how it's done. So you should definitely get back into that. At least posting those videos that
There's probably a lot planned for the future that just can't be spoke about right now, but I'm sure one day something will come out.
that's awesome. Yeah, I try to do the same what you did though. Now I do it differently. If you see my videos, how I show off the steel books,
Oh, I like what you got going with the little like watermark inlay of the different like whatever the movie might be, How to Train Your Dragon, etc. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that looks really slick. You're
And
doing a
I
good
try
job.
to do the little cut when I take off the wrapper and stuff. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
it's
Well,
been
that's the thing is like think about where you're at, where you're at now, right? Where you were, and then where you're going to be.
yeah.
So a year from now, and this is all just social media, right? So if I could give any advice to a lot of these creators and stuff, is that because I've seen it happen with a lot of the YouTubers where at the end of the day, like you don't own YouTube, you don't own Instagram, right? Now you are yourself, you are your own content, but maybe if you can create something that you own, so like a website or something, you know what I mean, then you can able to monetize that, right? So then you can be using all this social media to be sending traffic somewhere else that you got monetized. So then if they change an algorithm or they change something, it's not like whatever you were doing just went down the toilet, because I don't know what the stats are now, but I know on YouTube it's like there's different criteria. You gotta have X amount of subscribers, X amount of views, X amount of hours viewed. You know what I mean? So it can definitely make it an uphill climb, right? So utilize all that stuff and that free stuff, but try to point it somewhere where it can benefit you, because at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you're having fun, and that's fine. If all you care about is just having fun, a hobby, that's perfectly fine. But if you're also trying to build something at the same time, you got to keep some of that stuff in mind. And I'm always willing to give advice.
That's
Amazing. Thank you.
that's the advice I give to actors and stuff coming up. I just tell them, man, brand yourself, get on everything, make sure you have an
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, a YouTube, a TikTok, and a lot of casting directors, it's one of the first things they look for now is how many followers you got. So
Oh
it's,
yeah, because they want to use that as marketing. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
yep, when we're making movies now, that's one of the things we have in the back of our minds is, all right, how can that person market this thing? And on what
Mm.
platforms? How many viewers do they have? And yeah, so definitely, yeah, it's good, solid advice, y'all. Definitely take that advice. It's really good.
Yeah, I like being creative. I'm the idea guy. I'm the idea and the sales guy. My partner is on the forums, he's AP Smith, and he's the tech guy, computer programmer guy. I can dabble in a lot of that stuff, but not to the degree he can. You know what I mean? But I love just being creative. That's what really gets me going.
That's a good thing too. Partner up with people too, or a person that like I got my partner right here. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Partner up
All
with
right.
good people because that goes a long way as well. You can bounce
Justin does all
ideas
the
and
tech stuff. I do the laughing.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. And
Uh,
we've had there's just so it's crazy people you can bump into. I'm sure you got them too. I know one of the coolest ones I had was bumping into Quentin Tarantino's personal assistant at a con, and all because I love Tarantino movies, so I put some of his movies on display, but they weren't like ones you could buy in the U.S. They were imports. Some of these were actually from South Korea, and so that just drew her over. Like, hey, like what is this? We haven't seen these. And next thing you know, she was buying us out of everything we had. She's like, "Oh, Quentin will want this. Quentin will want that." So like, okay. And then we started kind of talking, and we had a member on our forum who would buy all these like special editions over the years for us that were Tarantino, and he would send them. His son was actually one of the bastards in Inglorious Bastards. Not like one of the speaking role. I don't think he had a speaking role at all. He wasn't one of the main ones. But anyways, his son was in that movie, and so through that link up somehow, I guess somehow he met her through his son, etc. And he was sending her all these movies, and then it kind of stopped, and we got to talking, and then come to find out he actually had a massive heart attack and passed away. So then I was like, oh, I was wondering, like, cause he kind of just kept stopped coming to the forums. We were buddies. We used to talk in the DMs. And so then I kind of picked it up with her a little bit, and then obviously Tarantino owns that, the New Beverly out there in LA, that theater. And then it was actually the Hateful Eight we had on the table at the time, and I had made like basically a fake Lincoln letter, and with the help of Jake, who I talked about, Snollygoster, and I mean it was front and back, looked like blood and everything, looked just like it from the movie. And then she's like, "What is this?" And told her, and then she was just like do you think you could make more of these? I said, yeah, I can make more of these. And then she's like, all right, I'll get in touch with you. I said, okay. And she goes back, and then they probably still do this. I haven't kept up the last couple of years, but they would do I think it's called like a very Tarantino Christmas every Christmas at that theater. And they were a lot of times they played Hateful Eight. In the past, they had played Kill Bill, but they'd always have like some like, you know, there were times Tarantino come out, introduce the movie, sit in the watch it. There'd be times where maybe they have an actor, but they'd always have like an item. It's like when the Kill Bill one, the poster was made of Tyler Stout. It was, I can't remember if it was, I don't know if it was Under the Seat or something, but anyways, it was like you didn't know you were getting a present, so to speak, at the end of the movie, but was, oh, here you go. And I mean, these are items that, if I don't, I'm sure people did, some of them probably, but like you could sell it immediately, like online if you wanted to, for like probably $500. I don't know what it goes for now, but I know for a while it was going for like over 1,000. But so then, anyways, long story short, she calls me up and says, "Hey, can you make some Lincoln letters?" And I was like, "Oh, like, well," and this was in November, and she's like, "I said, how many do you need?" And it was like, I think it was a lot, dude. It was like maybe 300 or 250, and then I was like, I'm not gonna say no. So I said, yeah, I can do it. And I was like, when do you need it by? And it was like maybe a 2 week turnaround or something. I was like, all right, I can do it. And with these, it wasn't just that I was printing them out. I was like aging these as well. So I had these like, printed out, and then I was pouring coffee on them. I was putting them in an oven at like 200 degrees. I was aging the paper, you know what I mean? And these actually on the back of those one, it said like a very like Tarantino Christmas or whatever. And so that was like a cool thing. So I sent that all that. Everyone got that, and they got a little like Hateful Eight mug. Check out got this little Hateful Eight mug right here. And that it was stuck inside there with a bunch of jelly beans because there's the part in the movie the jelly beans spill. And yeah, that was pretty cool moment. And then I ended up getting like a huge gift basket from like Tarantino or whatever, and it was a hell of a gift basket. I've never seen a gift basket like this. And I was like, that was pretty cool. I mean, when your gift basket has gift cards and alcohol, I mean, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's so awesome. I love that movie. I got to work with Walton Goggins a couple years back, and it's one of the first things I did was,
Oh yeah.
how was that movie? How was that experience? Because being in the industry, I've never worked with Tarantino, but you always hear, how he is on set and how he runs his sets, and so
Oh yeah.
uh
It's like
yeah,
you said, what was like, don't meet your heroes or whatever, takes the magic away. So I'm always glad I got that. I got that little layer in between because it's like, man, I mean, I got a whole rack over here. I'd hate to. I'm sure I'd get along, but just saying, it's like, don't take my magic away.
yeah, Tarantino, he's really into physical media and movies, so I think
Oh,
like
big time.
I
Yeah.
think as long as you're not working for him, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
So
huge. He's always been a big supporter of that. I've heard him on different podcasts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I love him. Nolan. They're
Seen the Nolan clip.
Cameron constantly
Scorsese.
pushing physical
Yeah.
media. I love it. Um,
that's it's the best format. You can't go streaming. It's the best format.
Yeah.
it really
Oh
is.
yeah.
Uh, so John, we end all of our interviews with the hardest question we can ask somebody that loves movies. Are you ready for this?
Oh man, I'm ready.
All right, this is it's really hard. What is your favorite movie?
Oh, that's actually not that hard.
Oh,
And
well,
it should be hard, but the thing is that you know, when you're running a movie website, right? All the people who aren't in this hobby, right, or understand it like we understand it, but when you're in it, when you got like a website, if your family starts seeing, I get movies delivered, people are like, you probably get it, Leo. People are like, what do where are the movies coming from? So that, and so then you get asked a lot, well, what's your favorite movie? Well, for many years, it's like, how the hell do I answer that? And then it got to a point where I was like, all right, I really need to figure this out because I'm just sick and tired of like rambling and telling them like 5 different movies and da, da, da. So it's Braveheart.
Oh,
oh,
Yep, people
that's
wouldn't
a.
expect that.
I did not expect. That's a good one.
Yep,
That's in
Braveheart's my
my
favorite.
it's in my top
Now,
20.
you said like different genres or whatever. You can start. I got top tens, whatever. You know what I mean? Said my favorite Tarantino movie is Inglorious Bastards. So
Great movie.
That is
Great.
a good movie.
Well,
All
my
his
favorite
movies are
comment
good.
is white chicks. So
and I got this crazy Django Tooth edition up there in the corner.
Oh yeah.
Then I
that's
got the Inglorious Bastards ammo case edition. So a lot of stuff. Yours is White Chicks.
yeah, my favorite comedy.
Oh, okay.
Oh no
Favorite
no no.
comedy.
Oh no 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 no. That's his favorite movie.
No, it's Tremors. Okay, my favorite movie is Tremors, and
My
then it's White
I
Chicks.
heard that the other day from you on something, and the Tremors. I was like, man, I can actually relate to that because I used to like that a lot when I was young too.
So,
But my
so
favorite comedy is probably Dumb and Dumber.
that's a great one.
That is a
Yeah,
good. That one. No no. That's respectable. That's yes yes.
But
yeah.
White Chicks is so good.
See
I
Leo.
actually laugh at White Chicks because I haven't. I actually have not. I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never seen it like start to finish. But my sister-in-laws and stuff, like I remember visiting back home, whatever, with my wife, and like they had like their whole like White Chicks phase. So like that's why
I
I was
think that's
like,
the other
that's why
thing.
I laugh because it's like I know it's a good movie because some people like it. You know what I mean? So
It's,
That's that's the other thing. I bonded so much with my sister, and we always say each other like the lines and the jokes. So it's such a great comedy. I love it.
it is a funny movie. It really is. It's no Dumb and Dumber, but it's pretty funny.
Every podcast, I'm gonna get everyone to watch White Chicks. That's my goal for every episode.
I mean, you're making me feel like I need to watch it now, so it might happen. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
cool, man.
John, thank you so much for joining us. This has been so much fun. High Def Ninja has been a part of physical media for quite a few years now. And we can't wait to see what's next, what's coming next. Can you real quick, could you spill any little secrets coming out?
There's something coming, but I don't know when it'll be announced.
I'm just honored that I
Tell
finally.
you what, if yeah, maybe there'll be a time where I come back on this and we talk about a bunch of other stuff. So.
Oh,
Oh,
we're definitely gonna have you back for sure, John. This has been a ton of fun. And y'all hit that follow button. Don't forget to enter our contest.
Yeah,
yeah.
we got 3 giveaways, man. So
So we got
check
the
it out.
Nobody 2. I mean, no, Nobody. The first Nobody, sorry.
Yeah, yep.
Then the Detective Pikachu. Those are together in one winner, right? Oh, we froze.
Yeah, that's
Did we
correct.
lose John? We
Yeah, you're
froze
back.
there.
We
There we
froze
go.
for a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's Nobody and Detective Pikachu for one winner.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got what was it? The Iron
So
Man.
Watchmen and then Ant-Man.
The Watchmen Steelbook and the Ant-Man lenticular cover. That thing is so sweet. Yeah, y'all. Easy. Just follow us. Make sure you comment, and we will pick a winner next Friday on the next episode. And yeah, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, John. And we'll see you all in the next episode.
Cool guys. Yep. Just shoot me over the addresses. I'll take care of it.
All right, sounds good.